Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about a new Shudder exclusive horror film, and also a extreme French horror film, Teddy, which is about a boy who is bitten by a werewolf and starts to turn into a werewolf. That's kind of long and short of it.
Yeah. Very simple. Like, what if Teen Wolf was a little bit more honest?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like if you cross Teen Wolf with Carrie, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a lot of Carrie elements in it. So basically, the gist of this movie is that you have this teenage boy in France, a very poor teenage boy in France.
Yeah.
In fact, at one point when we were watching the movie, we were trying to figure out if he was like Romani or something.
Yeah.
Because like, it's very obvious that people were treating him differently, like he was like lower class scum. And from all I can tell, he wasn't Romani, he was just poor. But if he was, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah. Well, like there are a lot of little like touches that make you think that maybe that's the case. Like the fact that he wears so much jewelry.
True, yeah.
The fact that he's got the I forget what it's called, but like the thing hanging from the rearview mirror of his car. Yeah. You know, like that's kind of like the equivalent of like, I got the sweetgrass. You know, like if you're
I couldn't find anything that confirms it, but if he was supposed to be, and you're a French viewer and you watch the movie, then let us know below. Because
I got the feeling it was at least supposed to be like a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
But basically, he's poor, lower class. He's trying to save up money so that he could build a house for him and his girlfriend to live in when his girlfriend graduates. But he gets bitten by a werewolf, and as the story goes on, as he starts to become more and more wolf and less man, he also starts to discover how people suck.
Yeah.
Like, think Carrie. Like, Carrie levels of people sucking.
Yeah, it very much is boy Carrie.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. Now, I do want to say that, like, this is listed in a lot of places as a horror comedy, and I would call it a horror comedy.
It has a lot of funny moments.
Because it is hilarious in moments.
It has a lot of funny moments.
And there are many scenes, obviously, are played for laughs. It's not even like it's unintentionally funny. It's clearly meant to be funny. But it is also dark as fuck. Like, it's got a dark as fuck ending.
It is a dark comedy.
So, like, imagine if you take some of those extreme French films from, like, the early 2000s, like The Insides and The Martyrs, but you made them also comedies on top of them being as brutal as they are.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this movie does.
Yeah. It's not as... the gore doesn't go quite as far as, like, either of those
No.
But...
Most
it doesn't shy away from it either.
Most of the gore in this, and there is some gore, but most of it is either after the fact, like bodies that are left in the wake of his werewolf attacks, or body horror as his body slowly starts to change more and more.
Yeah, because one of the things that happens. Okay, so you're like, yeah, werewolf. You start to get hairy, right? Okay, well here's the twist. He starts to grow hair out of places that you shouldn't.
Oh God,
like his eye.
Yeah, and so like you have all these fucked up body horror sequences where he's trying to remove the hair, with probably the most fucked up one being when he gets it on his tongue. But we'll talk about what he does with that. We'll talk about specifically what he does when we get to the spoilers, because I don't want to spoil that shit for you, because that shit's still haunting me. Okay.
Yeah. This movie's got a whinge factor. You know, like, holy crap.
You know, and the reason why I wanted to stress it's the movie's very specifically unique tone is that it's gonna be weird for most people watching it. Like, it worked for me, but I can totally see it being, like, too brutal to be funny for some people, and being too funny for the brutality to hit for other people. You know?
Maybe.
Because it's a very weird balancing act the movie's doing.
Yeah.
It worked for me, and I really dug it. But like, for example, like I think we watched it with your wife, and like she didn't even register it as a comedy because it was so brutal.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know,
she's like
you know. So your results may vary depending upon who you are. But let's be real: if you're as fucked up as Jack and I are, then you'll probably get the comedy as well as the horror.
Yeah.
You know, because I was definitely laughing my ass off throughout this movie. The other thing I really liked about this movie is once again, it's a movie that kind of proves how poverty is a universal language.
Oh yeah.
You know, because there's a lot about this kid's life that even though I grew up in California in the United States, I could relate to from my childhood living in like a mobile home park, right?
Yeah.
You know, like I could 100% relate to what his life was like. You know, and the shit that he dealt with and the way people treat you and all that stuff. You know, so like even if you're not even if you don't live in France, you're gonna find shit to relate to if you come from a poor background. 100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, like again, poverty is universal in terms of its language. You know.
Oh yes.
I will also say this. Every one of this movie definitely makes you feel like everyone should fucking die.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like Carrie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck everybody.
Yeah. Fuck everybody, man. You're like, everyone's an asshole.
And even some characters that you think at the beginning, oh, they're not so bad. Just wait.
Just wait.
You know. So God, what else can I say before spoilers? Because it's a very simple movie when you get right down to it.
Well, it's it has a man being raped by a woman.
Oh yeah, okay. I should probably put that there. Like, it's not something you see in movies every day, but it kind of showed how even when you flip the genders, it's still fucked up to watch.
Yeah.
You know, because like, here's the weird thing about that scene. The scene in which that happens, it's initially feels like it's supposed to be funny, but like as it goes on, it becomes less and less funny. But it's obvious that's the point.
Yeah.
Like you start laughing at first, and then as it goes on, you're kind of horrified.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, as you're watching this woman like not take no for an answer.
It's kind of like the perfect encapsulation of the movie as a whole, where it is a comedy, but then it's also fucking dark.
Yeah.
You know, so like you're laughing, and then all of a sudden it keeps going, and then it keeps going, and all of a sudden it's like watching someone getting drilled in the face in Hostel. It's no longer funny.
Yeah.
It's now just fucking gruesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Bad things are now happening. You're like, whoa.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Damn.
You know, and I don't feel bad mentioning this in the pre-spoiler section because I figure if anyone needs a trigger warning for that, then there you go.
That's something you might.
Yeah. You know. And there you go. Needless to say, there are dead animals in this.
Oh, yes.
He eats a lot of sheep.
Yep.
Over the course of this movie, and I believe there is a dead dog at one point.
I think so.
There's a point in which the hunters
shoot
something,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So just be warned about that. A lot of dead animals. A lot of dead people too. This movie has a fucking high body count, way higher than I was expecting.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want a werewolf body horror movie that's kind of like Carrie with a guy set in France, this is the movie for you. If you want a movie that is goofy and funny, and then all of a sudden dark and fucking brutal, this is the movie for you. This is also probably the most French of the French horror movies I've seen in a while.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Like there's like a big emphasis on the Frenchness. Big time.
Yeah. You can tell a lot of it is about being in the countryside of France.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and living in those environments.
100%. So yeah, with that all said, it is a Shudder exclusive. You can watch it on Shudder. I do not know about other regions, but just look it up on Just Watch and see where it's playing in your area. I recommend it. I dig it. And I guess we'll move on to the spoilers.
Yeah. Oh man. Bitch.
Oh
Bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So one of the characters at the beginning that you like at the beginning, but as the movie goes on, you grow to like less and less, is the main character's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, they're really cute together.
Yeah, everything seems like it's okay.
They're like a cute couple. They're sexually active. They're having a good time, and they're like romanticizing what life's going to be like once she graduates and all that stuff. And you're like, oh, this is really cute. I'm invested in these two and seeing them make it work, especially when you see him go out to this one field where he plans on buying a piece of land and building a home on there with his bare hands.
Yeah.
If he can just save enough money to do it. And like you're like, oh man, I want this guy to do that or whatever.
Yeah.
But then as the movie goes on, as she gets closer and closer to graduation, she obviously starts like thinking about her future and deciding that maybe I don't want to marry the poor guy, and maybe he is just a summer fling.
Yeah.
You know, and like she starts to be gravitating towards one of her childhood friends who is a rich guy, and also the bully that mistreats the main character over the course of it. And a bonus, her family approves of him, unlike the other guy.
Proves him to the point that the dad doesn't mind that he's fucking her.
Yeah, literally just walks in and just like, all right, you kids have fun. Whereas earlier in the movie, he did everything to try to convince him that his daughter wasn't even home.
Yeah.
When he showed up. You know, so you can see the real contrast between the way the two boyfriends are presented. And so, like, it's not the... I was tricked to get on stage and having pig's blood poured on me from Carrie, but it is the kind of betrayal that's like the catalyst for the bloodshed that happens at the end of the movie. You know? Yeah, it's that final betrayal, the one person that he thought besides his landlord stepdad guy that he thought actually cared about him, and it turns out no, she abandoned him for the first rich dick that came along.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And yeah, like, that's one of those this bitch moments. You're like,
oh my god, yes.
You know, because here's the thing. Here's one thing I liked that the movie did was that at first you're like, oh shit, she's gonna be moving, going to college. She's actually gonna be doing that.
Well, yeah, she's making it look like basically there's no way this relationship is gonna work. We're from two different worlds. Blah 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 blah. But the truth is, but she's already been cheating.
But then on top of that, the way he reacts is also a very poor way to react.
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
definitely.
So whatever.
Definitely,
so you're kind of like briefly on her side for a moment, but then like you get the reveal of what's really going on. Like, no, I've been cheating on you with this guy, and I'm now gonna be with him, and he's rich, and my family approves of it, and you're just like, oh no, he may have reacted poorly to you earlier, but right now, fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah. You know, like there's a
you know, and while that plot is all going on, you also have just the main character, like he gets bit by the wolf really early on in the movie, and then spends the rest of the movie having these nights where he just wakes up naked, and there's a bunch of dead animals and shit around town. So the town is hunting like the wolf. But he's also having these weird body horror moments before midnight, like at night. Like parts of the wolf start to manifest in him. Like in one point, hairs start growing out of his eyes, so he has to like pluck the hairs out of his eyes.
God.
And that scene was fucking like intense.
Yeah, because the hair's going like right out of the fucking eyeball and going at it with tweezers. And you're just like, oh jeez. And the scene takes for fucking ever. Mm-hmm. You know, like it lingers. It lingers on it like a Lucio Fulci film. Yeah, what it does.
Yeah.
Like, and the one with the tongue where he's like fucking literally shaving his tongue.
Hair starts growing out of his tongue. So he has these weird hairs growing out of his tongue. So he tries to shave his tongue, which, oh my god, that scene still fucking haunts me. Like him just, and the thing is, it keeps going. Like he's doing it until you eventually get to the last one where it's just like, and you get the pool of blood on the fucking.
Yeah, where you finally get the tension release. And, god, and you're like, when that huge like gob of fucking blood comes out, you're actually kind of relieved.
Oh god, yeah.
You know, you're like, oh god, it's over. Oh god,
Jesus.
Yeah, like no, those parts were so good. You know, expertly done. Expertly fucking done.
Absolutely. And just to put like if your mind's at ease, if you're in the spoiler section because you want to know if this movie is worth watching, you do get the werewolf at the end.
Oh yeah.
It's probably not as much of a werewolf as say like Ginger Snaps gives you at the end, but you do get the werewolf going on a rampage.
I would actually say it's a better looking werewolf, but you do see a lot less of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like it's a really good looking werewolf when you get a good look at it. But it's not in the movie as much as even Ginger Snaps, so it's like mainly the tail end. But like the werewolf does fucking slaughter an entire auditorium of townsfolks. Yeah, so it's very Carrie in that way.
Oh yeah,
you know? Yeah. You know, and at that point, when you're at that point in the movie, you're like, yeah, fuck them all.
yeah. It's a great example of doing a lot with a little. Mm-hmm. You know, you could tell like it's not that the movie didn't want to show dudes' heads getting ripped off.
Yeah.
It just probably couldn't afford it.
Yeah, I got the impression there was a lot of decisions that were made from a budgetary standpoint. Like, a great example is they have a really creative way they show you the werewolf transformation at the very end when he fully turns into a werewolf.
Yeah.
And it's mostly implied with showing you some things, but it was obviously one of those, like, necessity is the
necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna do this scene like this because we definitely don't want any confusion as to what's going on here.
And like,
but
even though
we
you
can only do so much.
And it's like you're watching one body part while like his skin is falling to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, you're okay. Let me put it this way: he's in a bathroom stall, and you can see his feet on the ground, and you're just listening as he's obviously tearing his skin off, and it's falling onto the ground in these pools while blood is pouring everywhere. And then eventually, you watch as his feet morph into werewolf feet.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple fucking shot and sequence, but it's very effective.
Yeah.
You know, and while it would have been cool,
it was that whole thing was all about lighting and blocking and camera movement.
Yeah.
It was really good.
And while it would have been cool to have like a American Werewolf in London sequence or a Howling sequence, like a transformation like those movies, it's obvious this movie didn't necessarily have the budget to do that. So I was glad that they found a creative way to do the transformation that worked.
Yeah.
You know, and was also just like, I hadn't seen it done that way before.
Yeah.
You know, that was pretty cool. Same thing with, like, you probably would see more people die on screen if they had the budget for it. So mostly what you see is the werewolf going after people and then, like, the next morning seeing their body on the ground.
Yeah, or like someone getting attacked and then the camera either pans or cuts to something else and we come back and the person's just like eviscerated.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it's
a lot easier to put, like, you know, dismember somebody with fucking visual effects than it is to do it in real time with these effects.
But what I kind of like about it is that reminds me of like the old 80s movies where they were just trying to find the most creative ways to do things with the low budgets they had, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like that. And I always found that endearing as fuck.
Quick, put a wig on a melon, hit it.
Exactly. You know, and the fact that this movie looked and felt as good as it did, it shows that like they succeeded in finding creative ways to do this.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's also like this entire subplot with him working at this massage parlor. And this is where the whole like rape sequence comes into play because the woman who runs the massage parlor obviously keeps him around because she's attracted to him. Yeah. And she's like this old like masseuse kind of like one of those like spiritualist women. Like, she kind of got like old auntie vibes.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a point in the movie in which she basically forces herself on him, and it starts off kind of comedic, but then it slowly gets more and more fucking
because it
horrifying.
Just keeps going.
Much like with the peeling of the tongue and like the eye, it lingers on it to where it reaches the point of horrifying, which was obviously the point. It like I said, it's a perfect encapsulation of this movie's tone, where it's like really funny and then really horrifying.
Yeah. Really like it's the thing the movie's really good at.
Mm-hmm.
The movie's really good at doing that.
To the point where when he finally kills her, by getting on top of her and then like making out with her and biting off her tongue, it's really satisfying.
Yeah.
You know, I would have liked to see her do more than just bite off the tongue for her, but I could also tell that was a budgetary thing. Like, you know, we can do this. We can't get her stomach ripped open or something, but we can easily do this tongue ripping out effect.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We'll do that. And it worked.
Yeah. Looked pretty good.
I guess this is the point where I should talk about how this movie has a really fucking dark ending. Much like Carrie, main character doesn't necessarily make it out at the end. Now, I say that, but it also has an ambiguous element to its ending that I wasn't sure if it was metaphorical or literal.
I was trying to figure out whether the last bit was like a flashback to the character and his girlfriend first meeting, or whether they were both dead, or what was going on.
Yeah, because the way this movie ends is after he goes on the rampage and kills a whole bunch of the townsfolk, the remaining townsfolk basically form a lynch mob and chase him down. He ends up getting shot by his his landlord / roommate / stepdad or whatever he was supposed to be. And that guy shoots him, and the guy loved him, so he didn't really want to do it, but he did it. And then the townsfolk are like, all right, he's dead and we're all done. And then you see his girlfriend, who you thought he had killed the night before, but you weren't sure because they didn't show you.
Right.
And then it cuts to a shot of both of them behind the stage at the prom, dancing and making out with one another. And it was hard to tell if that was a flashback to something that happened before, if that happened later and it turned out that the stepdad or whatever he was didn't shoot him with silver, so he tricked people into thinking he was dead and so he's alive, or if it was like a metaphor and they're both dead in heaven and they're together. I don't know.
It was really odd. It's like the ending of Rigor Mortis that way, where you're just all of a sudden going, you know, Rigor Mortis does that thing where at the end it's sort of like, and this is what would have happened if ghosts weren't real. And you're like, wait, is that part of the point of the story, or what's going on? I'm not entirely sure why you did this.
I'll be completely honest. It's the one aspect of the movie that I'm not sure how I feel about.
Yeah, me too.
You know, like I almost feel like it could have just ended with the girlfriend standing there and you find out he didn't actually kill her.
Yeah.
and then on that, he couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, that would, boom.
You know, because here's what I would have liked about that. If you just ended there, then it would have been purely Beauty killed the Beast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it also pays off that thing where he says he'll never ever hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
100%. But that extra tag at the end, it's just... I'm just confused. Is it that he didn't die and I suspect the guy didn't shoot him with silver bullets, so everyone thought he was dead, but he wasn't dead?
Yeah.
Because they do make a point earlier of saying that silver kills them.
Right.
You know, and we don't know.
Yeah, which never seems to come into it.
Yeah. Or is that a flashback? Or is it just a metaphor? Now, I don't like the idea of it just being a weird metaphor because it doesn't make sense to me after everything that happened that they would be together in heaven.
No kidding.
You know, I don't think they would be together in the afterlife.
That wouldn't make a lot of sense.
So I lean on it being a flashback or it being the other thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
I couldn't find anyone talking about it either.
I couldn't. I initially thought it happened after because it looked like she was wearing the same clothes as the last scene.
Yeah.
But and then she's covered in blood and all that. But then it turns out the outfit itself has this really weird pattern on it that looks like blood splatters. So I don't know.
So here's what I'm going to put out there. If you watch this movie, and I'm assuming if you're in the spoiler section this far that you've either want to watch the movie or you've watched the movie at this point, comment below and let me know what you thought of the ending of this movie, especially if you're French yourself. Maybe there were some elements that we missed because it was in a foreign language.
I feel like there must have been.
You know, feel free.
There's a subplot about getting someone's name wrong, which... That
was definitely a French cultural element. Also, because this has happened before, if you happen to be the people that made this movie, feel free to let us know below. Because that happened with Fried Berry recently, and also anything for Jackson. So,
yes.
Yes. If you happen to have... also Skull the Mask. It also happens with Skull the Mask. So if you happen to be the people that made the movie, or you know the people that made the movie, or you were on the production of this movie in some way, also let us know below what was up with the ending, because we were a little perplexed by it.
Yeah. Understood everything else.
Yeah. And with that said, anything else you want to say about Teddy, or?
No, this is a really good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Really good movie. I recommend it. If you got that Shudder subscription,
definitely watch it. Yeah.
Definitely watch it.
Yeah.
All right. You can find me at Counting Jack on Twitter and on twitch.tv/count_Jackula, where I stream twice a week on Thursdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can also find me on Instagram at Satanic Jackula. And how about you?
Y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram, and Facebook. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll be there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you would like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And if you made it this far into the vlog, then I would like you to put in a comment below hashtag
Provost.
Hashtag Provost.
Provost.
All right.
Provost.
Hashtag Provost. I'm gonna have to remember how it's spelled, but I'll put it there so you can see it right here. Hashtag Provost. So that I know that you made it this far into the vlog. Comment below with that hashtag. And with that said, we're gonna record one more vlog and call it a night after that. So peace out.
This is a weird one.
It's a weird one.
It is a weird one. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I kind of like its weirdness too.
Yeah. I always feel a little bit weird when I don't actually understand something about a movie.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like let's say it's like, well, how about nothing? I always feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I should know what's going on.
Oh yeah, especially if I'm doing like these vlogs where I'm like, I feel like I should be the one to inform people.
Exactly.
And if I'm stumped, then it's like, oh, sorry guys,
I need help.
can't help you. I'm just as lost as you.
Yeah.